This is Woodside Church Kids.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's video. My name is Matty and this is for the kids in Excite. Last week we learned about a guy called Abraham and God's promises to him. And we're following on in his story to his children. He had a son called Isaac who married a woman called Rebecca, and she became pregnant with twins. Now, do you know any twins? See, the twins in our story are actually very, very different to each other. One was called Esau. He was born first, and he came out and he was very, very hairy. He looked almost like a teddy bear. He had so much hair. And the second son was called Jacob. And Jacob wasn't quite so hairy as his brother, and they were very different as they grew up. Esau loved being outside, and Jacob much preferred staying at home. Now, because Esau was older, he was special. He was the one that would look after all of his father's stuff when he died. He would look after all of his dad's stuff. And Jacob would probably end up working for Esau. Now, we're learning in the story that Jacob wasn't particularly happy with this, and he actually tricked his dad into blessing him instead of his older brother, as we're going to learn about in our story today, called The Blessing. It says that Isaac grew to be an old man, and his eyes couldn't see anymore, and he called Esau. "I want to give you a special blessing, so you will be a leader," he said. "Make me some of my favorite food, then come back to me, and I will bless you." But Rebecca had heard what Isaac had told Esau. Now God had told Rebecca that Jacob would be the leader, so Rebecca wanted Jacob to have the blessing. She made Isaac's favourite food, and she covered Jacob's arms with goat skins so he would feel hairy like a teddy bear, like Esau. And Jacob pretended to be Esau, and he took the food to Isaac. Isaac felt Jacob's hairy arms and thought that Jacob was Esau, and he blessed Jacob. And that's the end of our story. And we learn in the story that even though God knew that Jacob had lied and had tricked his dad, God kept his promises that he'd made to Abraham and to his father Isaac. See, God will always keep the promises because he loves us and he loves you. And that's the story of Jacob and Esau and why it's still important. Now in this week's edition of Woodside Kid Weekly, I've put in some activities for you to try. We know that Jacob loved being at home and cooking with his mum, so I thought it would be fun for you to try and help the adults in your house to cook whatever meals they're making. There's also some activity sheets and a couple of craft ideas for you to have a go at home. And I love seeing all the stuff that you get up to during the week, so as always, send those photos to me on my email address and I'll try and put them in next week's edition. So until next week, keep well, help at home, and chat to Jesus. Bye!